This is the GMAETS41 Support Student Education Initiative Program. I am happy to welcome you to our General Basic Science class. I hope you are doing fine and are happy too. This program was established in order to improve students' background understanding of mathematics and science. I encourage you to talk about these programs to your friend so they can contact us and join this class. Science, we know, is the systematic study of nature. And so when we talk about science, we actually try to look around things that we have around us and study them. And so science is really very interesting. Now, like the name of the subject goes, as we use it here, General Basic Science. We'll be touching several aspects of sciences, put them together. We'll look at the biological aspect of science. We're going to look at the chemical aspect of science. We're also going to look at the physical aspect of science in this subject. But remember, we'll be interested in basic knowledge. And I'm also happy to inform you that we'll also be doing experiments, all right, in this subject. In this video, the topic we're going to look at is matter. And this is our very first topic in this subject, matter. At the end of the topic, what are you expected to learn? So let us look at the topic objectives here on the board. So, you should be able to define matter at the end of this lesson. You should be able to list the states of matter, that is, the various forms in which matter exists, and of course, be able to give some examples of these states of matter. Number 3, you should be able to differentiate between the states of matter. So, when we're going to learn about the different states of matter, you are expected to be able to differentiate one state from another one. So quickly, my dear friend, we want to start by answering the question, what is matter? Matter is defined as anything that has weight and can occupy space. So I want you to look around yourself. Can you see anything that you think that thing has weight, and at least that thing occupies some space as you're looking at it? If you see anything like that, then that thing is a matter. What about you yourself? Do you have weight? Do you occupy some space where you are seated having this lesson right now? So that simply tells us that you are also matter. I am a matter as well too. Now, there are two major things that defines matter for us. We have that on the board here. Matter must have weight. Matter must occupy space. So once we have anything that has weight and can occupy a given space, we refer to that as matter. Interestingly, almost everything around us has weight and can occupy space. So all around us we have matter. Is that okay? Good. Now we've known what matter is. So we want to look at the different forms in which matter can exist, and that we refer to it as states of matter. There are 3 major states of matter. So for now, know that, okay? At this level, know that there are 3 states of matter. When you go higher in your education, you may learn another form of matter, but we are not interested in that at this level. Is that okay? We are going to focus on the 3 major states of matter. And here on the board we have them. 1 is solid, 2, liquid, and then number 3, gas. These are the 3 states of matter. And of course, these 3 forms in which matter can exist, we have them all around us. When we talk about solid, can we give some examples of solid? Have you seen cube sugar before? That one you put in your tea and then you drink, okay? It's cube in shape. What about your Maggi? Alright? It's also solid. Okay, think about stone. Think about marker. I use marker to write, you can say that, right? All these are solid states of matter. There are many more of them. You can list as many of them as you like. Around you, you have many of these states of matter, solid. Alright, now liquid is another state of matter we said. An example of that is water. What about alcohol? I'm going to show you water. You know this? Okay? So this, we call it pure water, right? Okay, sachet water. This is a state of matter. If I open it, you'll notice that water will drop. Alcohol is also an example of liquid. You may have seen a palm wine tapper, okay, climb and tap wine from it. That wine is alcohol, it's liquid. What about our oil? Oil can also be made to be liquid. So there are many other examples of liquid as another state in which matter can exist. Let us talk about gas as another state. What are some examples of gases as a state or a form in which we can also see matter? Have you heard of oxygen before? Yeah, I want to believe that. We breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. These are gases. Alright? We have air also as gas. You know, air is a combination of some other gases. Nitrogen is also there. Carbon dioxide is there. Oxygen is there. Okay? So that mixture, which we call air, is also gas. Another form or state of matter. What about perfume? Perfume is also another state of matter. I'm going to show you one and I would like you to look at it. So just watch what is going to happen. You see something come out like snow, like smoke, alright? But you won't see it very clearly because of some properties of gas. So you watch. Alright? So you see that once you press these and the gas comes out as a perfume, you will just not see it again as if it's disappeared. Alright, we're going to talk about the properties, you know, of these states of matter and we'll see why the gas behaves like this, as in perfume behaves this way. What about propane? Have you heard of propane before? Butane. They are also examples of gases. Now, I decided to mention that because in most people's home, we have these gas that I just mentioned, propane and butane. Have you heard of cooking gas before? That one they use in cooking your food, alright? It's usually put in a gas cylinder. So the gas inside that you use in heating that produces fire, are you following, right? Is a mixture of propane and butane. They are also gases. Now that we've learned the states of matter and their examples, we're now going to see the differences between these three forms in which matter can exist. Because of course, a solid is different from gas, different from liquid. So what are their properties? We're going to talk about that next. Okay, now let us look at the differences between the three states of matter. Remember, we've already learned that the three states of matter are solid, liquid, and gas. So what are their differences? On the board here we have three differences that I've pointed out. So let us look at them. One is about the way the molecules are held together. The things that make up this solid, this liquid, gas, you know, how they are held together. So we have this. Molecules of solids are closely packed together. Very, very close. I'm going to show you an example here of a cube sugar. Alright? So you see how solid looks like. You can see how the particles that form the molecule of this solid, how they are held together, you know. Now if I hit this now, you can see the particles. I don't know, possibly, you see it's breaking. See how it's breaking, right? You can see how the particles are falling apart. Very hard. Because the molecules are closely packed. What about liquid? The molecules of liquid are not so packed as that of solid. So they are loosely held. That's what I use there. Molecules of liquid are loosely held. I showed you a liquid before, you know. You can see this. If I open this sachet, the water will start dropping because the molecules are not so held strongly. They are not. So the molecules are not as closely packed as that of solid. What about gas? Wow. The molecules of gas, they're very far away from one another. You still remember when I sprayed a perfume? When I sprayed that perfume, just from the tiny opening where the perfume came out, you saw something, but before you could know it, the thing disappeared. The reason why you could not see these molecules go out more is because the distance between one gas molecule and another gas molecule is very far. In fact, the distance is greater than the size of the gas molecule. If I give you two gas molecules now, the distance that will be between them is greater than the size of the molecule. So if one passes, before you see the other one, that first one has disappeared. So you might not notice that anything is really passing. So the molecules of gases, they are very far from one another. They are farther than that of liquid. Okay, now we move on to the next one. Solid do not flow. Solid do not flow. Back again to our cube sugar. You can see this. As I'm holding it, it's not flowing. Okay, the particles are not moving, or molecules, they're not moving from one place to another one. It's just at a fixed point, which is here. Solids do not flow. What about liquid? The board here you have it that liquid can flow. What about gases? Gas also can flow easily. Gas can flow faster than liquid. Although gas and liquid, both of them, they can flow. Alright? But the difference is that liquid molecules flow slower than gas molecules. We are going to try this and see, okay? Here with me, I've got this can. And then I have this water. We've been talking about it. Can you watch? Well, I'm going to be careful so it doesn't pour off. You notice what is happening. This is liquid flowing. Okay? Solids cannot do this. Solids cannot do this. So you can see clearly that liquids can flow. Good. What about gas? Can they flow? We've seen that before. I'll still show you that gas can flow. But when this liquid was flowing, you were seeing the liquid molecules as they were entering the can. Is that not so? What about gas? Very fast. You couldn't see the molecules clearly. Is that not so? So that is why I told you, like you have on the board, that gas molecules and gases, they flow easily and faster than liquid. Let's move on. The force that is holding the molecules of solid is very high. A greater force. That is why if you hold a solid like this, the particles that form the molecules cannot move. It remains in that position. What about the force holding liquid molecules? The force is not as high as that of solid. It's lesser than that of solid. Then the force between the molecules of gas is negligible. What do we mean by negligible? It's as if there is no force between the molecules of the gas. Okay? So we can neglect it. These are some differences between solid, liquid, and gas as states of matter. You might be asked, what are the properties of solid, properties of liquid, or properties of gases? All you need to do is pick each of them here. You know, these things are the properties of solid. These ones are the properties of liquid. These ones are the properties of what? Gas. Now, as we're explaining the differences between these states of matter, you notice something. There is some close relationship between liquid and gases. For example, liquid can flow, gas can flow. Is that it, sir? And that is why liquid and gas, both of them, these two states of matter, we refer to them as fluid. So friends, anytime you hear which state of matter is referred to as fluid, the answer is liquid and gas. And what is the reason? Because both of them can flow. In our next class, I'll be teaching you the changes that matter on the go. Until then, Have a very wonderful time. Remember to tell your friends about this program so that we can help them develop their understanding and appreciation of mathematics and science.